He or she has lived through so much. A long marriage that ended, a love that faded away. Decades in which the body was used for pleasure, for children, for care, for routine. And now, at 60, 65, even 70, a quiet question begins to surface. Is there still space for desire? Can we still love in a body changed by time? If you're in this phase of life, and you feel like your body no longer responds the way it used to, if the mirror no longer reflects that vibrant image of your youth, if your skin has softened, your movements have slowed, and your touch has become hesitant, breathe. You are not alone. The world quietly convinced us that desire has an expiration date, that sex is only for the young, that passion, fire, and intensity are reserved for tight skin and youthful energy. But who decided that? Who said that love requires firm muscles or flawless skin? Maybe what we need is to relearn. Not the act of sex itself, but the surrender, the touch, the gaze. The body may change, but desire, real desire, the one that comes from the soul, it matures. It does not die. Have you ever felt the urge to love again, and then felt ashamed? Have you told yourself, at my age, why bother? Or worse, have you felt that you're no longer worthy of being touched, desired, or loved? That pain is more common than we admit. But it doesn't have to be your ending. Time, the body, and love, they're not enemies. They just take on new forms. At 20, touch is urgent. At 30, it's intense. At 40, it's about discovery. But after 60, touch becomes tenderness. It becomes care. It becomes shared silence. And that can be more powerful than any wild night of youth. Do you feel disconnected from your own body? Do you avoid looking at yourself naked in the mirror? Do you believe that love is over, simply because no one touches you with affection anymore? The truth is, a mature body holds stories that a young body could never know. Scars, childbirth, pain, laughter, comfort. And contrary to what they say, there's beauty in that. So much beauty. Sex after 60 is not about performance. It's about presence. It's not about pace. It's about the time you give each other. It's about feeling and allowing yourself to be felt, with no rush, no pressure, no weight from youth. Have you ever wondered why so many people feel lonely, even in a marriage? Maybe it's because we forget that touch also communicates love. That a kiss on the forehead can be more erotic than a whole night without emotional connection. Many people in this phase carry guilt for what they did, for what they didn't do, for the body that is no longer the same. But what if I told you that now, you might be able to live your sexuality more freely than ever? No pressure, no taboo, no shame. Because now, you already know what truly matters. You know that real connection doesn't require a perfect body. You know that deep love doesn't need youth. It needs truth. Have you ever loved with maturity? Have you ever surrendered without fear of judgment? Have you allowed yourself to feel pleasure without pressure, without guilt, just for the sake of feeling? You deserve that. Whether you're a man or a woman, single, married, widowed, or recently divorced, intimacy is still possible. And more than that, it can be more honest than ever before. Because sex after 60 is not the end. It's the beginning of a new kind of connection. Connection with another and most importantly, with yourself. Loving yourself at this age is an act of courage. Allowing yourself to feel is an act of resistance. And living intimacy fully is an act of freedom. Time is not your enemy, it's your ally. It may have taken some things away, but it gave you others. It gave you maturity. It gave you wisdom. It gave you clarity. And with that came the ability to love with more awareness, more softness, and more depth. So, if someone tells you you're too old for this, smile. They haven't yet learned what real love truly is. And you? Have you lived a love story after 60? Have you rediscovered intimacy later in life? Or does it still feel out of reach? If you're in your 40s or 50s, have you ever loved someone older? Have you ever fallen for someone over 60? If not, would you allow yourself to? Do you believe love has an age limit, or can maturity be deeply attractive? Share your story in the comments. Maybe your experience or your question is exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Here on Seasoned Hearts, every story matters. Every seasoned heart deserves to be heard. And if this video touched you, like it, share it, and subscribe.